Hello friends, welcome to fourth part of chapter Human Health and Diseases. In previous video, we studied about typhoid, common cold and ringworm. Today, in this video, we will study some more human diseases: Filariasis, Ascariasis and Amoebiasis. Filariasis is a parasitic disease which is caused by roundworm. It is spread by blood-feeding insects such as black flies and mosquitoes. Bulgaria bancrofti and Brugueria malayi. These are the two parasitic organisms are responsible for the cause of the disease, filariasis. The larval form of this organism transmit the disease to the human being. There are three subtypes of filariasis: lymphatic filariasis, subcutaneous filariasis, and serous filariasis. Lymphatic filariasis is commonly known as elephantiasis. It is a painful and disfiguring disease. It is spread from person to person by mosquito bite. This disease is common at tropical and subtropical areas. This is the picture of roundworm, Bulgaria bancrofti. Adult worm mate and release millions of microscopic worms called microfilari. Microfilari, it is present in the blood of the infected person and can give the infection to another through the mosquito. Most infected people are asymptomatic and will never develop a clinical symptoms, but parasite damage lymph system and develop lymphedema, that is the accumulation of the lymph, and cause the swelling. Mostly the affected region is the legs, but can also affect arm, breast and genital organs. It is developed after many years of the infection. The swelling and the diseased function of the lymph system make difficult to fight the germs and the infection. Affected person will have some bacterial infection in the skin and lymph system. This causes the hardening and thickening of the skin, which is called elephantiasis, and it can last for years or lifelong. Student, look at the figure. This is the male genital organ, scrotum. It is a bag-like structure in which testes is present. Because of the infection of filariasis, the lymph get accumulated in this sac, and the size of this sac it increases or it is swollen. This condition is called hydrocele. Mosquito, it depends upon vertebrates' blood. The infected mosquito of filariasis during the feeding release the microscopic microfilari into the healthy person. Look at these animated pictures for how the mosquito transfer this microfilari, that is the microscopic worms, into the body of the human being. First we'll study about the life cycle of the filariasis, which is completed in the human. The microfilari in the blood get molted and gives adult form. Adult gets settled in the lymphatic system. Adult later on produce the microfilari. These are called sheath microfilari as they are covered with the membrane. They start migrating into the lymph and the blood. When mosquitoes suck blood of such infected person, these microfilari enter into the mosquito. Microfilari, when enter into the mosquito, get reach up to the gut and shred their sheath or the covering and reach into the midgut. Then they migrate to thoracic muscles and from there they reach to the head region. When this mosquito it bite to healthy person through proboscis, this microfilary it enters into the blood of the healthy person and the cycle get continued. To avoid the filariasis, we should avoid the mosquito bite, and that can be done by using the mosquito net and by using insect repellents. We will study next human disease, amoebiasis. Amoebiasis, it is caused by parasitic protozoan Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica, it is the intestinal amoeba. There are two more types of the amoebas are present, non-intestinal amoeba and the free-living amoeba. Amoebiasis, it is the dysentery which is caused by the infection of Entamoeba histolytica in intestinal region. The healthy person get infected to amoebiasis dysentery because of taking contaminated water and the contaminated food. Along with that, the Entamoeba histolytica it reach up to the intestine. The intestinal layer, mucosa, and the submucosa, there this Entamoeba histolytica it settle. Tropozoite, it is the infective stage of Entamoeba histolytica. It is present in the intestine. It has clear cytoplasm and the granular endoplasm. It measures about 8 to 30 micrometer. They ingest the RBC, which is a characteristic feature of Entamoeba histolytica. The endoplasm contains RBC and food vacuole. Endoplasm has a single spherical nucleus. It is identified with the pseudopodia structure. Pseudopodia, these are the long finger-like projections of endoplasm and ectoplasm. Tropozoite, these are the motile. They penetrate through wall of intestine and it reaches to the liver, lungs and brain along with the blood. Cyst, it is the infective form of the parasite. They get ingested along with the contaminated food and the water. They reach into the stomach and then into the intestine. When they reach into the intestine, they reproduce. They colonize. The cyst, it is a structure. It is a four nucleated spherical structure. Four nuclei present inside the cyst. They divide and it produces 8 nuclei. This 8 nucleated structure later on it transforms into the tropozoite structure. When the tropozoites are ready inside the cyst, the covering of the cyst it breaks and the tropozoite get free. The free tropozoite it is an infective stage. They invaginate into the wall of intestine. Pre-cyst it is an intermediate stage between the tropozoite and the cyst. It is oval with a blunt pseudopodia structure. Cyst, it is a spherical bodies which measures about 8 to 10 microns. It's covered with smooth chitinous wall that makes them resistant to gastric and other adverse conditions present in the stomach and the intestine region. Nuclear structure is the same as a tropozoite. They are uninucleated. Mature cysts present in the gut of the human, they never invade intestinal wall. They never harm the wall of the intestine. Student, look at the figure to study how the cyst is converted into tropozoite and tropozoite into the cyst structure. As we studied, the cyst is having quadrinucleated structure. In a mature condition, it gets swallowed along with the food or the water and it get entered into the human body and healthy person get infected. Cyst, it reach to the stomach, then to the intestine. It is present in four nucleated structure. inside the intestine. When they enter, they divide. This 4 nucleated structure it divide into 8 nucleated structure by the mitosis. 8 nucleated structure is later on transferred into 8 tropozoid structure. Single tropozoid is having single nucleus which divide, and it gives the 2 nuclei. 2 nuclei of the tropozoid further it divide and it gives the 4 nuclei. So each tropozoid is converted into 4 nucleated structure. This 4 nucleated structure later it is converted into cyst. In the formation of the cyst, a protective wall is produced around this 4 nucleated structure. The process it is called incystation, which form in the colon of the large intestine. When the incystation is complete, the mature cyst along with the fecal matter get released outside the human body. When the human waste get mixed with the food or the water, it get contaminated and the mature cyst enter into the healthy human through the contaminated water or the contaminated food, and the cycle it is continued. Symptoms of amoebiasis. It includes stomach pain, stomach cramps, amoebic dysentery with the blood and the stool, hepatomegaly, that is enlargement of the liver, and fever. It can be diagnosed with the help of microscopic examination of the stool or the fecal matter and can be treated. Transmission means how this infection it is transferred from infected person to healthy person. There are two routes of the infection, fecal and the oral route. Another way the person can get infected by eating with the dirty hands, and it can be also get infected because of the contaminated food and the water if he has swallowed. Amoebiasis can be controlled and prevented if you use the practice of washing of the hand with the hot water and the soap. The drinking of boiled water, it also helps to control the amoebiasis, as well as sanitary practices and the proper disposable. They also play important role in control of amoebiasis. Chlorination of water and the filtration, it also help to control the amoebiasis. Fruits and the vegetable must be washed properly to control the spread of amoebiasis. Next human disease is Ascariasis. It is a type of roundworm infection. These worms are parasites. Parasites, it is of two types, protozoa and helminths. Helminths include platyhelminths and nematodes. Nematodes, these are the roundworms. Let us study about a parasitic worm, Ascaris, and how it infects the human being. These worms use our body as a host to mature its eggs into adult. The adult worm it is about 30 centimeter long. In case of Ascaris, sexes are separate. The female it is a long than the male and it is a straight, while male is a shorter than the female and it has a round tip. Ascariasis is one of the most common worm infection in people worldwide. It is caused because of infection of Ascaris lumbricoides. It shows the symptoms as gastrointestinal discomfort, vomiting, that is the reverse peristalsis. Fever. In this condition, body temperature increases. Loss of appetite, where the hunger is absent. And weight loss. Body becomes thin and the weak. Another important characteristic is the eosinophilia. Eosinophil, it is one of the white cells present in the body, in blood, which fight against the infection. And that's why its number it is increased when the infection it is present in the body. Let us study about life cycle of Ascaris. It includes 4 phases: ingestion, migration, maturation, and reproduction. In ingestion, accidentally tiny or the microscopic eggs get swallowed by eating uncooked fruits or the vegetables if they have been grown in contaminated soil. In migration phase, eggs reach into the intestine and get hatched into the larvae. Larvae penetrate the wall of intestine and it enters into the bloodstream or the lymphatic system. Along with the blood, they reach to the organ, heart, and the lungs and infect them. From lungs, larvae travel towards the throat. They get swallowed and enter into the esophagus. From esophagus, they reach to the stomach and then to the intestine, where they grow into adult. The female adult worm start producing the eggs. Per day, female adult produces 2 lakhs eggs. These eggs, it is released from the body through fecal matter. They get added into the soil. After 2 to 3 weeks, eggs becomes infective. The whole process from egg ingestion to egg deposition takes 2 to 3 months. Ascaris lives inside the human body for a year or two. The risk of Ascariasis is high in age group 1 to 10 or the younger, as they play more likely in soil or the dirt. Ascariasis is diagnosed by microscopic examination of the stool or the fecal matter and is treated with anti-helminthic drugs. The spread of the Ascariasis can be controlled by avoiding the defecation in open space, personal hygiene, washing of the hands with the water and the soap, washing of the vegetables and the fruit before cooking, and avoiding the raw vegetables. So these help in controlling the Ascariasis. Thank you for watching this video. Stay happy, stay healthy.